Vladimir Klitschko. After taking an early beating, Ross came back, got that victory. Still the only man to post a victory over Vladimir Klitschko. And along the way, he's also had a draw with Tommy Morrison. He's had a victory over Joe Hipp, who was a top 10 ranked fighter at the time. So he's fought all the big names, lost to most of them. But like you said, every now and then, look out, because he jumps up and bites somebody.
And he does have some pop. And I think that's the minefield that Attal 11 has to be aware of tonight. Before we get to that, we're going 8 rounds in the heavyweight division. Another fine young prospect, this guy named Dominick Guinn. He's undefeated in 17 fights, and he gets a guy named Terry McGroom. But let's talk about Guinn for a minute.
Yeah, well, he's undefeated so far. He's fought very well. He's had 17 fights, and he is a guy, I think, with a real chance. He's got an outstanding amateur career behind him, so he's well-schooled coming into the professionals. He's well-schooled as far as that international competition, and here in the United States. He was a Golden Gloves champion. There you see him from his victorious class just a couple of years ago. And as a pro, he's been answering the bell and answering all the questions in the correct fashion so far, Barry.
All right, let's talk about Terry McGroom for just a moment. This is a guy that the last time he fought at 190 pounds. He's 236 tonight, so it's a different Terry McGroom.
That's only 46 pounds, Barry, but he fought the last time when he fought at 190, it was for the World Championship. He was fighting the very talented Vasily Zhirov. So he's a guy who's been in there with the likes of Zhirov for the championship. He was stopped that night, but he did fight a very close fight with James Toney, went the distance with Toney, lost a fairly close decision to James Toney, so he has an outstanding record. He's been in there, and I think provides a good test for Guinn.
All right, and with that, let us tell you that Sean O'Grady is okay, and he wasn't dreaming. He's with us right now in the center of the ring. Sean?
Thanks, guys. I'm kind of shaking it off a bit. Dominick Guinn is a fighter who's undefeated and really untested. Tonight is going to be his biggest test. He has to be a little bit nervous, but Dominick, you know what to do. How do you get this fight started?
I'm going to come out and get it started with a jab, and everything comes behind the jab.
Big amateur records for both of you. Do you expect to have more of an amateur fight or more of a professional match tonight?
I'm thinking more of a professional fight. You know, he's an old veteran.
Yeah.
So he might come out and try to take me in the deep sea.
And he's been in there with some big guys. Okay, I'm going to go talk to him. Good luck, Dominick. Let's go see how Terry McGroom is doing. Terry, come on over here for a minute. Terry, just wondering how you're going to come out against this young man who's never really been untested. He's not been in there. Dominick's not been in there with the fighters that you've faced. How do you fight him?
Well, first thing I fight him is, since I look at him as the old me, or the new me. See, when I started fighting, I had to fight guys that I step up and plate to. So now it's like me looking in the mirror. I got to see the old me versus the new me and see what decision will come out from there.
You face better competition. Are you going to try to use your experience?
Most definitely, I have to. You know?
Name of the game. That's right. Use your experience. He's looking to go to later rounds. How about that, guys?
All right, we'll see which me shows up. Maybe he's a maxi me. I'll tell you that.
Not a mini me. Yeah.
And let's take a look at the tail of the tape, brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Just for Men, more than a hair color. It's the Rejuvenator. And as you see, 232 pounds for Guinn. And I said 36 for McGroom. Actually, it's 206. So he's really only 16 pounds up from what he was last time. And fighting as a heavyweight for the first time. We'll see how it goes. We go to the center of the ring. Our hero, Mark Biro.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Great Plains Coliseum in Lawton, Oklahoma. As Segment Pusher Promotions, in association with Tony Coleman Productions and the Fort Sill Casino, presents Sunday Night Fights on Fox Sports Net. This is your first contest of the evening. It is scheduled for 8 rounds in the heavyweight division. Your referee for this event is Gary Ritter. Introducing in the red corner to my left, wearing the silver trunks with the black trim, he weighs in at 206 pounds. His professional record, undefeated in 17 professional bouts. 14 wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from Hot Springs, Arkansas. Here is Dominick Southern Disaster Guinn. Guinn. His opponent in the blue corner, wearing the black and red striped trunks and weighing in at 232 pounds. His professional record, 19 victories, 3 defeats, 2 draws, and 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Here is Terry Top Dog McGroom. McGroom, 8 rounds in the heavyweight division.
Okay, gentlemen, you received your instructions earlier. I want a good, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. Cut your gloves. Let's have a good one.
And here are the ABC rules. 3 knockdown rule will not be in effect, nor will there be a standing 8 count. A fighter cannot be saved with a bell in any round. The headbutt rule would go to the cards after the 4th round, and that counts for any fight, including a 4-round fight. Anything prior to that, no decision. And with that, we are ready to go with our first fight. And we were right after all that McGroom did come in at 232 and not the listed 206.
Punch out.
Dominick Guinn also weighing more than he's weighed for any of his previous bouts here, Barry. Guinn is being trained by Mark Breland, the former welterweight champion, and by Ronnie Shields. So he's got some tremendous wisdom in going in his corner.
McGroom coming in here pretty cool, actually. He was not broken a sweat. McGroom, as you said, he's been in there with some pretty good guys. The last guy, Uroff, of course, still the champion in the cruiserweight division, and he stopped McGroom in 1 round.
Right, he was with a body punch. I was there at the fight. It was a tremendous blast, and that was it for Terry. It only took about 1.5 minutes. He fought a much better fight when he fought 2 fights before that against James Toney. Went the distance in that one. On that night, he was still fighting basically as a cruiserweight. He weighed 195 for that fight with Toney. He's flirted with the 200, a little bit over 200 on a few occasions in his career. McGroom has. But Dominick Guinn is a guy who's considered a real prospect, Barry. He's got good power, and he hits fast. He has, I've heard you call wide receivers, describe them as sneaky fast, and I think that's what Guinn is with his right hand. He doesn't portray a boxer necessarily as you take a look at him who looks like he's got tremendous speed of hand, but when he launches that right hand of his, it can be like a real rocket.
It's been a battle of jabs thus far in this first round.
Punch out.
I think Dominick Guinn here is using round 1 as a study hall, knowing that he's got an experienced opponent in there.
Bad idea. He has stopped his last 4 opponents, all early in the 1st or 2nd round. This fight is scheduled for 8 rounds, so you can't wait too long.
Feel out first round here, Barry. I think 2 of them just sizing up each other.
And they come to the end of the first round. Let's talk a little bit about Dominick Guinn.
All right, there he is. He can be a mobile fighter and quick with his hands. He didn't show much of that in round 1, but we'll see it. He does have some skills in there, and he's got a trainer, Ronnie Shields, who can teach him those skills. And we talked about that very good amateur background that he has. And there you see it, twice a Golden Gloves champion in the United States. Miguel Diaz is the man wiping the face. Across the way, you have Terry McGroom, who usually comes in top condition. We're unsure really what his condition will be tonight. He's trying to flirt with the heavyweight division to see if he's more comfortable there, so we'll have to see how the fight evolves that way. And he has certainly fought the best cruiserweights with Giroff and Toney. He, too, was a Golden Gloves fighter.
Well, Sean O'Grady has joined us ringside. That was very funny, Sean. There's a whole future here for you.
Well, it's I owe it all to the executive producer here at Fox Sports Net Boxing.
Cecil B. de Steinberg.
That's him, Mr. Stein. Dr. Stein.
Oh, in the meantime. And that dropped McGroom right now.
I'm looking at Terry. He doesn't look real hurt. He seemed a little bit shocked when he went down. But there you saw an example of the power that Guinn has, and this is why he's considered a big prospect in the heavyweight division.
And it was a very quick punch, as you had indicated earlier. And a technically sound punch. You know, he's closing his fists when he's landing, whereas McGroom is not. Terry has his hands open when he's punching. Quick again.
Heavy shots.
Left hand on the right behind it. You know why you put two together like that? Fighters go down to the canvas. You try to get that one punch knockout. A lot of times it doesn't happen. And Guinn doing a very smart thing here too. And went after him a little bit after the knockdown. Now he's backed off. He sees that McGroom has his legs back under him.
Guinn used that first round as a study hall, and I think he was using it to get the timing of what McGroom is doing in there, and that enabled him to throw that punch, and he's not worried about feeling out. And I think what happened with McGroom came out here working at the same pace that he did round one, and Guinn certainly wasn't doing that anymore.
Or again, he slipped a left and a right behind it in on McGroom. You're right, Mitch. He was very quick. Very talented fighters.
You know, with Guinn, it really is shocking because here's a guy who lost, by his own count, his first 20 amateur fights. Now, what gets a guy to keep going? I mean, how do you maintain interest or sanity when you've lost your first 20 amateur fights before you ever get a victory?
Can't win them all.
And he went on to have over 300 and ended up winning mostly all of them.
290 and 26 as an amateur. You talked about him losing those first 20 fights, so he didn't lose the other 6 until later in his amateur career. For McGroom, his amateur record, 85 and 15. So both fighters, a lot of fights. But you know what? What's happened to McGroom recently, he's lost 2 of his last 3, and I wonder if his heart's still in the sport of boxing. Whereas Dominick Guinn seems to be on the upswing in his career. He's putting things together. Things are happening. People are starting to talk about his career around the country. And he looks good tonight. Good left hand by McGroom and another left hand by McGroom.
Yeah, he's trying to test Guinn now.
Experience from McGroom. Good start for Guinn and a good finish to the round by McGroom.
During business hours, he serves you with a smile.
I watched him grow since he was this big. I must feel like Uncle Sam. Slide a photo guy. You're a very lucky man, Mr. Jordan.
But after hours, he has you.
What you got there, family photos?
All to himself.
Pretend. This is all pretend.
Academy Award winner Robin Williams. 1 hour photo. Rated R. Now playing select cities.
Prestige for everyone. Welcome to NFL Fever 2003. Here it is with a convoy. What's the big minute? Boom, shakalaka. That's a pass on the middle. NFL Fever 2003. Only on Xbox. For more gridiron action, play online with Xbox Live.
Okay, you're going to see Guinn set these things up with a left hand, and watch how he leans into the punch here, McGroom. He's over on that side, and he actually leaned into the punch and set himself up for being hit with that.
It's round number 3 now. Each man had his moments in the second round. Guinn's moment was a little bit more effective. Although, despite the fact that there was a knockdown, I still made that a 10-9 round because I thought McGroom finished the round well.
Well, I just don't agree with that, Barry Tompkins.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to tell you that.
Come on, punch out your hands.
Anthony Thompson, bright young prospect in the welterweight division, of course, still to come, and our main event.
Stop, break.
Dominick Guinn took a quick look over at Ronnie Shields in his corner, gave him a nod of a head. That's a high-powered corner over there. Ronnie Shields, Mark Breland, and Miguel Diaz. Not bad. That was a nice little left hook inside there. It was a punch that didn't travel very far. It looked like he started off like he was going to throw a jab there, Barry, and turned it into a little hook.
Stop. I like his hand speed a lot. I think Guinn looks like a guy who definitely has some skills. Maybe could make a little bit of noise. Trying to fight at closer quarters in this round is Guinn.
Guinn did not have the best of luck against Calvin Brock, another young heavyweight professional. When they fought in the amateurs, they fought in 1999 in the U.S. Challenge, and he lost a decision to Brock. And then they fought again in the Olympic trials, and he lost a decision to Brock. And Brock went on to compete in the Olympic Games. And I could see that those two might meet up if you take a look where they are at this stage of their careers, possibly in the professional ranks.
McGroom with a right hand in close quarters.
You could see Dominick Guinn have a little bit of disgusted look on his face when he got hit with that, and he goes right back to business here, Barry.
McGroom clearly trying to fight in a little bit closer quarters this round. Good right hand by Guinn.
I'd like to see Guinn do something to the body. He's throwing a lot of straight punches, and they're going mostly to the head. I'd like to see him work that body a little bit.
Watch out. Watch out. Goes on.
Coming to the end of round number 3. Consistent round, I thought, for Guinn that time. Right now, let's go backstage where Sean O'Grady is with Anthony Thompson, about whom we just spoke. Sean?
Mark was a great amateur, one of the greatest ever, and won 2 world championships as a pro.
And got out exactly when he should have.
And a pretty good actor, too, if you ever seen him in movies.
And I mean that really as a compliment that he got out when he should.
Of course, he's not as good an actor as Sean O'Grady.
No.
Incredible ability.
But it's typecasting. Sean's been looking for the romantic lead, you know.
Oh, I thought you meant typecasting by him being knocked out.
And Guinn slipped a left hand in.
Oh, he tried to use that short left hook again, and it just missed. Guinn's throwing punches with real intentions here. The intentions of getting McGroom out of there. They're not all going to fall in that first round, though.
No, he's got a tougher guy in there, I think, than he's seen for the most part. Nice little uppercut in there.
I can hear Ronnie Shields yelling to Dominick Guinn to go to the body, and precious little of that. I don't know what McGroom was thinking about right there when he stepped back.
I'm not sure. McGroom's right eye is starting to puff up a bit.
McGroom does some pretty good work inside, actually.
A little left hand right in close quarters. Another left hand. And another combination. Guinn just very sharp.
McGroom, because of his inside success, was trying to change his strategy earlier in the fight. He was fighting on the outside, trying to get out of make it an inside fight here, and was doing well. But there you saw Guinn actually kind of step back a little, give himself some punching room on the inside, and was able to launch that arsenal.
Let go, on. Get on out.
Guinn did a great job in close quarters, and McGroom has kind of forgotten about that jab, which worked with relative effectiveness in the first round.
See those little punches that he throws inside McGroom? They're not bad little punches, and they're probably things that Dominick Guinn hasn't seen yet. But he's seeing it here tonight. And this is how a young fighter learns.
And McGroom getting the better of that exchange. And then getting out of there, and he clips him with another right hand. All right, we're going to go backstage once again. Sean O'Grady, we think we got all the gremlins out of the system. Here's Sean.
Thanks, guys. I feel like a commercial. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Still not sure what that was, to tell you the truth. I don't think I want to know either.
I'm scared to find out.
Anytime I've had one of those little bottles, I'll tell you.
Right eye could turn out to be a real problem for McGroom. Swelling of it is prominent. You can see it there in your shot.
Right.
Fighters breaking at the order of the referee. Fighting a good professional fight. There's been nothing dirty between these two. Even though they've been on the inside, their heads have come close on a number of occasions. The referee on many times doesn't even really have to get between them to break them up.
It's been, I think, a very well-fought fight so far. One knockdown.
Charm out of there. Charm out.
That by Guinn. And it was a flash knockdown. I don't believe McGroom was really hurt.
McGroom just picked those punches off with his gloves as he stepped back. I think this is the good learning experience fight for Dominick Guinn tonight. I think he's doing enough to win every round, but I think he's getting tested in every round. He's learning a little something new every round, seeing a little something that he hasn't seen before from a more experienced opponent.
Tried to crank that left hand. Didn't quite get there.
Out. Get your arm out, Terry. Get your arm out, Terry.
Not enough work to the body for my liking from Dominick Guinn. A lot of times on the inside he doesn't work, and he gets outworked by McGroom inside.
That's very true, and you pointed out earlier, Randy Shields was exhorting his fighter, screaming at him to go to the body, but Guinn has not done that.
He's got a good jab, Guinn. Pumps it out there. Real good. It's going to set up a lot for him.
Yeah, I think hand speed is probably the biggest talent that he brings. He appears to have a little bit of pop also.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got power.
End of round 5.
Welcome to the barbershop.
His face gonna be real smooth like Gary Coleman.
To learn more, visit Viagra.com. Ask your doctor and see the difference.
Here's a guy waiting for his moment in the sun. That's Ross Purdy. Talking on the phone. He seems relaxed. Out to 11. The guy who he has to get through, and only one person has been able to do that so far. Meanwhile, we're watching Dominick Guinn and Terry McGroom. 6th round of the scheduled 8-rounder. And Guinn, as Rich pointed out, winning most every round and does have the only knockdown of the fight, but it's still been a competitive fight.
He did a good thing to start the round. He came out with a jab to the body, which brought McGroom's head down, our hands down, and then he jabbed him right to the head. It was a good double jab, body and head.
Work out of there.
Guinn's facial expression never changes. There started with a right hand lead, then a left cross.
His facial expression looks a little like Lennox Lewis's to me.
It does.
There's a slight facial resemblance to Lennox.
Arms out. Here we go. There we go. Get your arm out.
Let's just step around. Now step around.
See how Guinn stepped back there. See how he did it again. Steps back and gives himself some room to punch.
We're in the corner now, Dominick Guinn, where Sean O'Grady is with Ronnie Shields. Sean?
Thanks, guys. The star-studded corner of Dominick Guinn. Not only do we have Ronnie Shields, we also got Mark Green over here. And Tell me, Ronnie, about between rounds, you're telling your man to go to the body. Why?
Well, because, you know, he's hit this guy with everything. This guy take a good shot. So, you know, we got to wear him down just a little bit, hit him in the body, and then come back to the top, and I think he'll knock him out.
Do you think this is only an 8th round, or do you think he'll get a stoppage?
Well, I don't know. You know, he's not putting punches together. You know, he's winning the fight easy, but, you know, we're wanting to put punches together, and then I think he'll knock this guy out. This guy want to punch with him. So, but this guy's not showing up to punch with Dominick.
Do you now, at this point in the fight, do you go for the knockout or just go for the victory?
Oh, no, we're going for the knockout, you know.
Yeah.
We have to go for the knockout, you know.
I know you, Ronnie Shield, former fighter. I know he was always going for the knockout. That's how he wants his kids to fight, guys.
Seems like a good idea to me.
Yeah, well, he's trying to get him to set it up with body punches. That's what we've been talking about for the last several rounds. More work to the body from Dominick Guinn is what was needed, I believe.
Now there's swelling around the left eye of Terry McGroom.
Go, Terry, go.
McGroom's going to know he's been in a fight when he looks in the mirror tomorrow.
Stop, right. Well, step back.
It'll be his first fight in 18 months, so it's not easy to come in and fight a hot prospect that way. He certainly didn't jump in there with a confidence builder.
No, absolutely not.
Watch your head.
End of round number 6, and it's pretty much more of the same thing.
Time!
Hi, I'm Keith Hernandez, and I'm Walt Clyde Frazier. What a marvelous night for the action. Let's go to the play-by-play. Oh, there's Mr. Graybeard approaching Miss Hottie.
Well, while we're away, Terry McGroom's corner has decided that their man has had enough, and this fight was stopped by the corner, not by the referee, but by the corner, and I would have to say well stopped. I don't believe he had a chance to win the fight.
Right, I think at that point you had to, make a decision in the corner, and Danny Sprague over there decided, I think my guy's had enough, and McGroom may have made that decision himself just through his, in talking to them or in his facial expressions when they talked to him. So he decided that was enough, and it's probably smart. That's probably a mature decision.
Yeah, I think so too. And so for Dominick Guinn, as you said, I think a very good test. I think that kind of showed him where he is, and I think he's got a ton of skills. I'm sure that when he gets back to the gym, Randy Shields will talk about you got to work the body more, you got to wear your opponent down. Well, he did a good job tonight, but as he steps up, it won't be quite as easy.
Well, he was fighting tonight a naturally smaller man, and you see that. Look at the speed that he lashed out with that left hand. That was really a good punch, and McGroom leaned into it. And there again, you see the quick hands. Well, when he throws punches, and with those bad intentions, Barry, he really throws them quickly. He sometimes gives a lazy impression in the ring, but he can be very, very quick-handed. As it moved to round 6, it was still more of the same, and that's when they called the fight at the end of the 6th round.
Well stopped, I think. Let's go up to the center of the ring now, Mark Bureau, and we'll make it official. Mark?
Ladies and gentlemen, the blue corner has retired. Therefore, the winner by technical knockout in the 7th round and still undefeated, Dominick Guinn.
So Dominick Guinn remains perfect, brings his record to 18-0, and along the way picks up his 15th knockout as well. So Dominick Guinn, a guy who you have an idea, Rich, that you're going to be hearing a little bit more about as we move along in the heavyweight division.
Oh, yeah, I think he's got a chance, definitely. If he keeps at it, keeps learning the lessons, that's what's important. Keep learning those lessons in the gym. Listen to those people he's got with him, Shields and Mark Breland, and he'll be all right.
So another W for him, the fast-handed Dominick Guinn, and I'm quite sure that we'll be seeing him down the road as well. This guy's coming up next, welterweight Anthony Thompson, a terrific prospect. I think you'll like him.